All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I'm back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and I hope that you guys are staying safe. So, you guys, if this is you guys' first time tuning into this channel, it is called Live Narc Free, where it is all about getting free and staying free after dealing with narcissistic abuse. So, you guys, this is not going to be too much of a long video. Hold on one second. Oh, yeah, so basically, so I was on the live a couple days ago and I got asked this question, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting to share it. Let me look just to confirm here, you guys. Let me see. So with this here, let me see. So basically, the person was asking me, they were saying, well, hey, Joy, what is the difference between a narcissist and a psychopath? So this individual was asking, I actually did make a video on that, but I thought it would be good to kind of review that again, just in case if folks are wondering the difference, because there is a difference between the two, right? So for those that are kind of wanting that information, we can for sure look into it here. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, one moment, you guys. I'm just noting here. Okay. So in regards to this is really important here. And happy Wednesday, or when you're watching this, it might be Thursday. But yeah. But yeah, so let's talk about it here. I know like at times when I go live, people are like, hey Joy, how can you recognize the signs of a narcissist? You know, maybe this could also be a reiteration of this. Just kind of a recap here for those of you wondering. So again, let's talk about what is a narcissist. How do you identify the narcissist? I know one person always asks me, hey, how can we recognize the warning signs and things like that? So let's kind of review it here. So it says a narcissist is someone who has an exaggerated sense of self-importance and is overly concerned with their own needs and appearance. They may also have a lack of empathy for others. So that's basically what a narcissist is. So this individual is also very selfish. They're very arrogant. They're very conceited, and a lot of them, you know, they don't care about how their particular actions impact other individuals. Like they will basically exploit another person for their own personal gain. You know, and they're very selfish individuals. They do stuff. You know, to people, and they don't care about, you know, the consequences, or they don't take accountability for their actions, right? So again, just to reiterate, narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition that involves a pervasive pattern of these traits. So it's the grandiosity. It says, and you guys can go to AI overview, or you can Google this as well, but it says an unrealistic sense of superiority where the person believes they are unique or special. Now, also it says a need for admiration. And also to this person is very attention seeking. So this person needs attention all the time. Like they kind of demand attention, or, you know, maybe a lot of times it's like they didn't get it as a child. So a lot of times they're desperate for it. So, you know, that's something to be aware of. But it says a strong desire to be recognized and admired. Now, we all do want to be admired, right? We get that. But with the narcissist is excessive, right? Whatever a narcissist does, it's going to be excessive. So if they are doing something to you, they may do it every day, or, you know, they may indulge in, you know, toxic behaviors, you know, or they're like very codependent, you know, they're very needy, very clingy, you know, and things like that. So just be mindful. And they also, like, they whine, they're a nuisance. like I said, it's like a kid, right? Just like a narcissist is like a child, basically. Even sometimes if they're a grown adult, the narcissist behaves as a child, right? But the other thing is the lack of empathy. So the inability to understand or care about the feelings of others, right? And vulnerability, a sensitivity to criticism or defeat that can leave the person feeling ashamed, degraded, or empty. So yeah, so the person they can't handle criticism and they can't handle defeat. Like if if somebody is giving the narcissist feedback or suggestions and things like that, and the narcissist doesn't like it, they can't handle that, right? Or a lot of times the narcissist can't take rejection, like they can't hear the word no, or they can't accept something for what it is. They feel like they have to get their way. They feel like they have to win at all costs, or they have to compete and stuff like that. So that's how you know you're dealing with a narcissist, because a normal person would say, okay, like it is what it is, and they'll let it go. But with a narcissist, they'll just keep being very like, oh no, like it's not that way, and just being very like rigid, and just doing too much. Like, you know what I'm saying, just doing too much. And so but yeah, that's how you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, right? And again, if you guys go to if you type narcissist, it says a person that has an excessive interest of admiration of themselves. Like they require that from other people too. So if you're around a narcissist, they need your attention 24/7, right? Or they cannot be in their own presence. Like they have to have people around them, because the narcissists, they don't feel good about themselves, so they're going to need that extra validation or that admiration to make themselves feel better, right? Because if they, a lot of times, that's why they have to be in relationships, because again, they feel worthless, they feel like they're nothing, they feel like low about themselves without another person, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friend, or even if it's a stranger or just somebody around. They need to have people around them, right? So you know so yeah. And then again, a narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonable high sense of their own self-importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others, right? So the narcissist wants you to care about them, but they don't care about other people, right? So that's just something, it's very selfish, right? When you think about it, like, why would a person feel like have, would they need other people to care about them, but they don't care about others? That's very arrogant too. It's just like, it's not that deep. But that's how some people are, and a lot of times, again, you guys, that comes from how a person was raised, like, because some people, they wasn't taught like home training, or they wasn't taught certain stuff as a child, like, or maybe they didn't have discipline around them, or they didn't have people around them like saying like, hey, like, this is okay, this is not okay, hey, you don't do that, like, you know what I'm saying, like teaching them the basics of like an adulthood or a childhood, or teaching them different principles, teaching them morals, teaching them values. Like, maybe that person didn't have that type of guidance, but it's just like, it's not for that person to go out and just start treating people in a certain way. It's like that. I mean, you have to work on that. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's good, for the individual, or you have to understand the importance of healing, because, if you don't heal, like I said, you could become a narcissist, you guys, right? That's the dangers of not healing. You never want to be classified as an NPD. That's really not a good place to be. It's miserable, trust me. You guys, I've been around these individuals, I live with them, I've been in connections with them, and trust me, it's miserable. Trust and believe. And they're still that way to this day. They have not changed, you guys. That's the thing you got to remember, is that these individuals do not change, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. So, a psychopath. Somebody was asking me, what is a psychopath? And are they the same? Now, narcissists and psychopaths are different. Just in case if you guys are wondering, the person asked me when I was on the live, I thought that was a great question. But basically, with a psychopath, though, so with the psychopath, it says a person affected by chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. So the psychopath is a little bit more socially violent. Like this person is a little bit more like they're like a madman, mad woman, mad person, deranged, maniac, lunatic. Um, it says a fruit case. Wow, a fruit cake. That's crazy. Nutcase, nut job, headbanger, sicko. Oh wow, crackpot. Oh my goodness, that is different. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That is too much. But yeah, you do have some folks out here that behave this way. So, it's always good to keep your P's and your Q's up. That's why I said it's very important if you have to be around individuals that have NPD. I'm telling you, you really got to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Really got to protect yourself. So again, this person is also unstable and aggressive. This is a psychopath, right? And I did make a video about this. There was like a PowerPoint that I had did, which kind of talked about this. And speaking of that, let me see here. I have to find that video for you guys where I broke that down. But just to kind of reiterate that, because people are out there that are like this, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to recognize it and see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what defines someone as a psychopath? So it says psychopathic is characterized an extreme lack of empathy. Psychopaths may also be manipulative, charming, exploitive, and behave in an impulsive and risky manner. They may lack conscience or guilt and refuse to accept responsibility for their actions. So again, so the narcissist and the psychopath do definitely have some similar characteristics and traits. So they're very similar more than they're different, which is interesting. Yeah. So signs of psychopathy. So if you're wondering, it says behavior that conflicts with social norms, disregarding or violating the rights of others, the inability to distinguish between right and wrong. And you guys can go to Healthline. Difficulties with showing remorse or empathy, tendency to lie often, manipulating and hurting others, and reoccurring problems with the law. So yeah, again, the narcissist and the psychopath do have a lot in common. But the thing is, I guess sometimes with a psychopath, they don't, I don't know if it's something like in their brain, it makes it difficult for them to distinguish between right and wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure something has happened to this person, just like how the narc is, but where this individual is like, hey, what's right, what's wrong. But the thing with a narcissist, they know what's right and what's wrong. So they know what they're doing. Sometimes the psychopath is a little bit off more mentally, but what a narcissist is just based off, they become that way due to circumstances, right? Or whether it's a heartbreak or, childhood trauma, or, over, like if they got neglected as a child, or if they got too much attention, or they was too spoiled and they feel like they're obligated or entitled to other people's stuff, or if a person never got disciplined as a child, so they feel like they could just do whatever they want without any consequences, that can cause a person to become a narcissist, right? Because no one ever taught them life skills or life rules, right? Or just social norms and behaviors and way you interact with people and stuff like that. But yeah, and so yeah, so again, the psychopathy kind of comes under narcissistic. Uh is what it says here. PubMed.com, you guys can go. It says clinical observation as ASH have suggested 4 subtypes of psychopathy. It says narcissistic, borderline, sadistic, and antisocial. So the narcissist is sadistic. They're very sadistic in the fact that they like to upset people or they like to hurt people. And but they can also be borderline too as well. But the part of where the narcissist can be a psychopathy is where the narcissistic behavior and the sadicity of it, right? But with a narcissist, they're not necessarily antisocial per se. Some of them can be, but a lot of them, they need your like supply from other people. So that's why they have to be around a lot of people at all times, right? So again, so it says, what does a psycho person mean? It says a person who is mentally or emotionally unsound or unstable, especially in a way that results in dangerous or violent behavior. So with the psychopath, they're a little bit more dangerous than a narcissist because again, the narcissist, since they're a coward, they're not really gonna like do anything per se. Like they are more mentally and emotionally manipulative per se. And that's what more the abuse takes place with the emotions and the mind with the narc or spiritually. But with a psychopath, it's a little bit more of violent, dangerous behavior per se, physically, if that makes sense, right? So that's really the difference between the two. Um, Let me see here. What else? Okay, yeah. So either way, you do just want to be on the lookout. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's good to really protect yourself from these individuals, right? So making sure that you get the support that you need, make sure that you reach out to individuals that have been through whether it's NPD or BPD, things like that. Or just other mental health challenges. You want to make sure that you don't isolate yourself or feel like there's no one to talk to, or it's you in it by yourself. Trust me, there's other people that have been through it. And so just understand that you have to do the inner work. Though I know like a lot of us, we like to try to skip it and things like that. So yeah, so just keep in mind, there's always work to do, right? And trust me, it's not easy though. Like I always tell you guys in the videos, doing the inner work is not easy. Or a lot of people don't want to do it. Let's be honest. Like there's a lot of information out there. A lot of people know what they need to do, right? But sometimes, whether we get comfortable or we don't want to change, or we're just like, oh no, maybe we could skip this, and oh, I can just get underneath someone and make the pain go away, or maybe I can distract myself, or and stuff like that, or maybe you have like certain addictions or drugs or behaviors or people and stuff like that. Maybe you can help distract it, but at the end of the day, the pain is still going to be there, the hurt is still going to be there, the anxiety, the stress, the worry. So it's best to work on yourself now, so that way in the future, when you're trying to connect with a person, or if you're trying to have a friendship or any other type of situation, you just want to make sure that you have dealt with those demons or those insecurities, or those different traumas that maybe you've experienced, so that way you don't actually go about hurting another person unintentionally, or causing unnecessary drama to an innocent person, or being like sort of unable to navigate your emotions and taking your frustrations out on someone that has nothing to do with your pain. You get what I'm saying? So you just want to make sure that you're in a different position to where you can take action to control your mental, emotional, spiritual, and psychological health, right? So that's always really important. And someone was asking, it says, are narcissists psychopaths? It says, you need to understand that there is a fine line between the two personalities. It says, so not all narcissists are psychopaths and not all psychopaths are narcissists. It says, you have to look deeper. The answer to this question is yes, certainly sometimes narcissists are psychopaths and they do exist, but not always. So that is something to keep in mind. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it says signs of psychopathy in women. It's also in men too. But let's say, for instance, if you're wondering, how do you recognize a psychopath in women? It says engaging in behavior that warrants or results in criminal arrest. It says deception and manipulation for profit or self-amusement, impulsive behavior, irritability and aggression, frequently fighting or assaults others, blatant disregard for their own safety and that of others. So that's how you can recognize the signs of psychopath in women. It can be also the same thing in men too. It says, what age does psychopath develop? Yeah, it says, although sociopath and psychopath cannot be diagnosed until someone is 18. One of the hallmarks of both conditions is that they usually begin in childhood or early adolescence. Usually the symptoms appear before the age of 15, and sometimes they are present in early childhood. Yeah, so a lot of the times that happens, people become this way based off of how they was raised, based on how they was treated, based off of their environment. Like I said, whether they got attention from their parents or did not. Maybe they felt neglected or abandoned, or maybe some of them, they were molested or sexually assaulted by a friend of the family or somebody in their family. I've heard of stories where people got taken advantage of by their uncles or their cousins, and was touched by somebody in their family, and they was told not to say anything. So that stuff is crazy, and it can make somebody turn into these personalities due to what happened to them as a child. But that's why I said, you guys, you have to work on yourself. You cannot skip it, because if you do, you will be a menace to society. You will be out here, just hurting people and thinking it's funny, and it comes back, and it's you'll see, like, it's really not. It's not a joke or a game to behave out this way and think that there's no consequences. There's always a consequence. Whatever action you do, there's always a reaction based off of your behavior. So you got to be careful, you guys. You got to be careful. So, just something to be mindful of. So anyway, I hope that this video was helpful and insightful. I would love to know, what was you guys' biggest takeaway? Some things that you learned. Let me see. There was something else I feel like I wanted to share with you guys. Give me a moment here. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, it says, which is worse, narcissist or psychopath? It says psychopaths tend to be the most violent and dangerous because they lack empathy, a conscience, and respect for authority. Psychopaths are similar but often use manipulation and deceit over violence. Narcissists can be selfish and cruel, but less likely to engage in illegal or violent behaviors. So yeah, the psychopaths are a little bit more on the, I guess, quote unquote, you would say crazier side, but narcissists can be there too. It's in the same like cluster personality disorder. So they definitely have some similar traits, basically. All right. Yeah. It says the psychopaths in how do psychopaths end relationships? It says people with variety of breakup strategies to end friendships and romantic relationships, or they use a variety of strategies, but it says the personality traits of narcissism, Machiavellism, and psychopaths can predict breakup behavior. Psychopaths predict greater use of manipulation, cost escalation, and distant communication during breakups. So yeah. Yeah, see. It says, unlike sadistic, psychopaths don't harm the harmless simply because they get pleasure from it, which is what a narcissist would do. The narcissist will harm you because they get pleasure out of it. Like, to see you in pain, that makes them happy because they're miserable. They're already in pain. So they want you to feel how they feel. But with the psychopath, it says one things, but if harming others help them get what they want, so be it. They can act this way because they are less likely to feel pity or remorse or fear. So, let's see. Yeah, with a psychopath, they are antisocial. So that's just something. Now, this is different. Let's say if a person likes spending time on their own, that's a little different, because some people are like, oh, well, the person is spending time alone, they're antisocial. So it's not that per se. It's just with a psychopath, they're just socially awkward, basically. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Yeah, they throw tantrums, and a narcissist will throw tantrums too, but psychopaths will as well. Hmm. Yeah, it says, now this is interesting. What is a narcopath? It says, in order to be classified as a narcopath, malignant narcissist, or narcissistic sociopath, a person has to display several traits of both NPD, ASP, PD. Wow, that's interesting. And it says some signs include delusions, obsessions with power and control, taking advantage of others with no moral boundaries. So yeah, that's a narcopath. Narcopath and narc is similar for sure. So anyway, I hope that this video was helpful and insightful. I would love to know what was you guys' biggest takeaway. If you guys learned anything, I would love to know, or any other topics that you guys want me to do. Please be sure to leave it in the comment box below. I love you guys so much. If you guys would like any more support from me, please feel free to visit my website. You can go to livenarcfree.com, or you can send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.